What's going down, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and I'm here in my temporary setup, little temporary office here in the background, but the videos, they don't stop. And I'm here with a dogfight, an epic dogfight between 4G versus 4G, Android versus Android. Pretty awesome versus pretty awesome, but one has to win. Here it is, the Samsung DROID Charge and the T-Mobile G2x, both awesome devices on their respective carriers. Verizon over here, T-Mobile over here. 1 GHz processor over here, 4-inch Super AMOLED, 4.3-inch Super AMOLED display, 8-megapixel camera, front-facing camera, and it's one of 2 devices on Verizon to support LTE. This one, on the other hand, T-Mobile G2x, been out for a couple of weeks now. 1 GHz dual-core processor, 8-megapixel camera on the back, front-facing camera, 4-inch display, and all-around awesome as well. Which one's the best? You know, vanilla Android, TouchWiz-based Android, Verizon 4G, T-Mobile 4G? We're going to find out all that and more in the dogfight. First, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy. They're hooking us up with a couple of these and phones like this so we can give them away to you and you can win them in our One Paw Bandit game. So when you go into Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, the web, everything you need to get going. But enough of that, let's get into it. Dogfight, which one of these is going to win? You have to wait and see and find out. Samsung DROID Charge, T-Mobile G2x, full dogfight starts right now. 2 hot devices on 2 separate carriers, but hey, it's dogfights, only one can be the winner. Here it is, Samsung DROID Charge, recently announced on Verizon. Actually, it was supposed to come out several weeks back. You know, we got our review units, it was all ready to launch, and then Verizon had that issue with 4G LTE. You know, it just went down nationwide for like 24 to 48 hours, or almost 48 hours. And actually, I don't think it was quite 48 hours. It was, you like this? I'm talking to myself. 32 hours, somewhere around there, and it came back up, but it delayed the launch, and it just came out this weekend. It's available now for $299.99, 2-year agreement at Verizon retail stores. And so specs-wise, you have a 1 GHz single-core processor over here. It's a Hummingbird, which is what came in the Galaxy S devices of last year, like the Epic 4G, the Fascinate, the Vibrant, and the Captivate. So you have that same processor. You have an upgraded display, a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. So a bigger display, a little bit bigger at least, and a Super AMOLED Plus as opposed to a Super AMOLED. So better display, much improved, easier to read outside, and it's running Android 2.2 out of the box with Samsung's TouchWiz user interface. It's running TouchWiz version 3.0. So you can see some similarities here between this and the original, the original Galaxy S devices. So out of the box, you get All Share, Amazon Kindle, get some VCast stuff like VCast apps, backup assistant, BitBob. It comes with a lot of bloatware pre-installed. Blockbuster, let's see, Desk Cradle isn't really bloatware, but guided tours, IM, mobile hotspot, Let's Golf 2, Rhapsody, My Verizon Mobile, Samsung's Media Hub, TuneWiki, VCast Media, VZ Navigator, Rock Band, YouTube, and then some stuff that I've installed and working with it. But you can see quite a bit of stuff pre-installed. You can't uninstall that. We know that from all the Verizon devices of the past, where you can't uninstall the stuff like VZ Navigator, things like that. But overall, good looking device. It kind of preserves that Samsung form factor with the hump at the bottom. It is a little bit thicker than some of the other devices on the market, like the Infuse 4G or the well-known Samsung Galaxy S2. And but it looks good to me. It has this kind of stealth look to it, which is interesting because it was originally, the code names were somewhere between the Charge and the Stealth. So it's kind of interesting that they didn't go, at least to me, that they didn't go with the Stealth. They decided to go with the DROID Charge. But you'll notice physical buttons at the bottom instead of capacitive buttons, and you have your menu, your home, back, and search. So a little bit of a reverse design depending on which Android device you're used to. They switch it around, from device to device, from manufacturer to manufacturer, so you never quite know which organized, or which way they're going to be organized rather. So you can see up here, typical TouchWiz setup with your 5 shortcuts. You have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, mobile data, auto rotation, and then you have this kind of mocha brown color scheme with the DROID Charge. So again, $299, 2-year agreement, and this is one of Verizon's 2 4G devices, a Thunderbolt, and then this is the second one, the DROID Charge. At least their phones, I should say, not devices. They have several USB modems, things like that. And then you have the T-Mobile G2x, which is available from T-Mobile now for $199.99, and I think it's $500 full retail, if I remember right. 1500 milliamp battery here, 1600 milliamp battery over here. So a little bit of a smaller battery, and it is a little bit more of a power-hungry processor. It's running a 1 GHz dual-core NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor. It's got a 4-inch display, an 8-megapixel camera. It's capable of shooting 1080p video, a front-facing camera as well, so you can do those video calls, and it's running Android 2.2. So both of these are running Android 2.2. The difference, at least on the software front, is that this is running a vanilla build of Android 2.2, save for a few applications like T-Mobile's App Pack, as you can see, some stuff I've installed. T-Mobile's App Pack, Highlight, My Account and My Device, Video Chat, Visual Voicemail, T-Mobile TV. The actual build itself is, and T-Mobile Mall, the actual build is a stock build. Now you can't uninstall those T-Mobile applications, so it is kind of frustrating. So it's not a full, clean, 100% vanilla build of Android, but it's still pretty close. And you can just see how fast this device is. That dual-core processor really works wonders on this device. I mean, absolutely fast, no lag whatsoever in anything. I mean, very, very speedy. And overall, I've been very pleased with it. You can see it goes through menus, very easy, and just absolutely fast with no lag whatsoever. And you can attribute that to two things. One, the fact that it's running a vanilla build or almost vanilla build of Android, and two, that super fast processor. So it's a well-equipped device and it looks good. So let's see, just in comparison between the two devices, you can see TouchWiz. Now this is going to come with stock Android widgets. This is going to come with stock Android widgets plus some TouchWiz widgets. So we'll just do this as a comparison, and we'll bring up the home screen here and we'll do widgets, and you can see what they look like. Battery life is one I always install. Then you have Buddies Now, Calendar, Daily Briefing, which is a Samsung thing, and they've improved on that. Daily Briefing is the program, and originally there was just a Daily Briefing widget. Now they've split them up, which I think I may still have. Yeah, you can still see them over here. They split them up by weather, finance, news, and then the date, and schedule, things like that. So you can split them up and put them on different pages. You can line them up like this if you want to. So just a little enhancement on the widget front. So let's see, go back to widgets. Daily Briefing, data usage, dual clock, feeds and updates. So you notice that there aren't a lot of Samsung widgets. When you look at something like this in comparison to HTC Sense, there's really not a lot that you get out of the box. You get a couple of Samsung widgets, you get a couple of stock widgets, and that's about it. Google Voice, Market, TuneWiki, Twitter, WeatherBug, YouTube, and then that's about it. So some stock Google stuff, couple of Samsung ones, and that's it. Now on this one, you'll notice widgets. All it is a list of stock Android widgets. Advanced Task Killer, which I've installed that, but Analog Clock, Battery Life, Calendar, all stock Android. Then you get a couple T-Mobile ones like Highlight. But the rest are all either stock Android or programs that I've installed, like the Weather Channel, Twitter. So pretty bland, at least on the widget front on the stock Android. But let's take a look at the keyboards on both of these devices to see how they differ, what kind of keyboard options are available. And you notice on this one, when it pops right up, the gingerbread keyboard's here. Now obviously this isn't an Android 2.3 device. I've downloaded this in Android Market. It's a keyboard called, I type in gingerbread keyboard and it comes up, but I can't remember what the exact title is. But there's two options. There's a free one and a 99-cent one as well. So you get that. So I have that pre-installed, but you get swipe and Android keyboard out of the box. And here, because it's an Android 2.2 device, it's the typical Android keyboard. So we'll type in the quick brown fox is ready to go party. Quick Brown Fox is ready, yoga party. Yoga party. Yoga party. Haha. Monday afternoon joke that sucked. But you get the idea. Quick Brown Fox is ready to go party. Quick and easy to use, and you can use it in portrait or in landscape. And let me turn this over into landscape for you so you can see. Unlock the auto rotate, or turn it on rather. Go back to messaging, and you can see, because it is a 4-inch display, it's a relatively large keyboard. When you put it into landscape mode, it gives plenty of real estate to type. And hopefully the error correction is good enough for you. It has been for me, but hopefully it's good enough for you where you don't have any issues typing, even on the larger keyboard. Now on this one, a little bit bigger display, 4.3-inch display, and it comes with a couple of different keyboards. Let's bring this up, new message, and type to compose. And you can see two options, swipe and then Samsung keypad. I've installed the gingerbread keyboard on this one as well, but no stock Android keyboard. It's just swipe and Samsung's default keypad. Now, this is a love-hate thing. A lot of my colleagues in the industry absolutely love the Samsung keypad. I can't stand it. I think the autocorrection is very frustrating, and it's not like a typical Android keyboard. It autocorrects and fills in the words. So let's do the quick brown fox, and you can see how it's auto-filling. Let's do that. See how I typed in OKLA and it filled out Homa, Oklahoma, which is normal, and that works 98% of the time. But when you come across that one word, let's see if I can find one, is ready to LMAO. Like, laugh my expletive off. Quick Brown Fox is ready to LMAO, which doesn't really make sense, but you get the idea. It autocorrects it to LAO, thinking that's what I'm saying, and trying to get back to, I can click that if I wanted to, but let's say I wanted to respell it. It becomes this issue It's very frustrating, and you misspell the word, you have to go back and back and back again. So I don't care for it, so I downloaded the Gingerbread keyboard. But for those of you that like Swipe, it's pre-installed on here as well, so you get the option to use Swipe if you so desire. So both those on there, Swipe on both, Android keyboard on this one, Gingerbread or Samsung keyboard on this, and there are plenty of options in the Android market if you so desire. Okay, let's take a look at the browser on both of these devices and see how it performs, you know, on a 4.3-inch display versus a 4-inch, and the fact that this is not running an overlay as opposed to this one, which is running TouchWiz. So let's see, browser, we'll jump in, we'll go to phonedog.com on both, which I probably shouldn't do this on the Swipe keyboard. There we go. Okay, PhoneDog. Need to switch that back soon. Let's see here. CNN, phonedog.com, and we'll see which one performs better. Both are running Android 2.2, so they're both capable of Flash and all that good stuff. You'll see it loading up here on this page. For example, I'm running Verizon's 4G LTE in here, and then this is running T-Mobile's 4G, so loading up on both. But let's take a look at this one first. Pinch to zoom, very, very good on this device. Actually one of the better devices I've worked with. You do get some checkerboarding when you zoom in and out, but it's a trade-off, like I've said in some of the previous Droid Charge videos. It's a trade-off between whether you want quick and quick and easy, in and out, and some checkerboarding, or you want it to be a little bit slower with no checkerboarding. Personally, I prefer checkerboarding anytime as opposed to not having the checkerboarding. So you can pinch to zoom, tap to zoom in, tap to zoom out, works really well. And you can see those Flash advertisements loaded up there. So I mean, given the fact that Flash is running in the background, that's very, very fast to me. Little to no lag at all. And then we'll jump over here and take a look at this one. So you see it's a little bit slower, but there's no checkerboarding. So it goes back and forth between which one you want more. I've been pleased with both of these. Portrait and landscape, that's what it looks like on a 4-inch display. And then let me bring up auto rotation on this one so you can see on a 4.3-inch display. So very quick, very easy to use. I have to give the browser edge to the Droid Charge. I think it's a little bit faster over here, and despite the fact that there is some checkerboarding, I think the overall browser experience is a little bit better. It's also more user-friendly. If you look at the menu and we go into Windows, and this is a very minor thing, but still, you know, I have my Expansys order tracking for the Galaxy S2, I have PhoneDog, I want to switch back and forth. It's really not graphically friendly, it's just quick links, whereas opposed to something like this, I go to Windows, and you can see PhoneDog, I open up a new window, and then I go back, let's say, into this window, bam, bam, and scroll back over, and PhoneDog's right there. So it's just more aesthetically pleasing, easier for the consumer to understand. For the person that may not be used to Android or may not be used to a smartphone, I think the edge goes to the Droid Charge as a result of being aesthetically pleasing and overall faster and easier to use.